Okay, so I'm here at Technics. We're building a set of forks. Nick's got them stripped on the bench. Good evening, Nick.
Hi.
But the questions come up, Nick. We're looking at this dampening rod. Sorry
Yep.
for the video. Looking at this dampening rod here,
Yep.
and I started asking why we're fitting emulators.
Well, they're called heaps of things. Travel control valves, PD valves, emulators, a V4S valve is what we call ours.
Yep.
Pretty much it all originates from Kawasaki in about 85.
Okay. So on this dampening rod here that goes inside the fork,
Yep.
you've filled some holes,
Yes.
and you've enlarged other holes.
Yes. So, basically, when the fork, so this damper rod sits like this inside this fork tube. There is a seal in here.
Yep.
Of sorts. It's not particularly good.
Yep.
But it's a seal. As the fork compresses, the column of oil that sits below here is forced through these holes.
Now those holes control the dampening.
Those holes control the compression
damping.
as in when the fork's being compressed.
Yep, the amount of oil that can get out those holes is what controls the compression damping.
Right.
So hence my surprise when you made those holes bigger.
Yeah. So I've drilled those holes out because you can have forks with 2 holes or 1 hole or 4 holes or 6 holes. Right?
Why have you drilled them out?
I've drilled them out because I don't want them to be effective anymore.
So they no longer have any dampening, compression
They've got
damping
a
effect.
very minimal amount of dampening character is created by those holes.
So what's going to stop it blowing straight through the stroke now?
Well, as the fork compresses, this oil is forced through these holes and travels up through here
Yep.
and out through
Out through
here.
that hole, yep.
Right? So what we can do, instead of trying to control the oil flow down here,
Which should be very hard to adjust.
well, the problem is fixed. So you end up with low speed dampening, as in when the fork is compressing slowly. If you have large holes, it can fall through. It feels really soft.
Yep.
If you make the hole smaller, you end up with dampening. But then when the fork has to travel fast, the oil simply cannot pass through those holes.
And you end up harsh.
And your dampening character goes through the roof. And you end up with way more compression dampening than you actually want.
Okay, so how are you going to deal with this now?
So what we do is we just drill
Let it flow.
them all out so that no longer has any effect. And we put a dampening valve device, call it what you will here, right?